Hi everyone, I'm Tim Crosdale, Group Manager Corporate Services at Port Stephens Council. I'm here with other members of the executive team to provide an overview of where we're up to with our community strategic plan for the next period of time. Just before we get started on it, I just want to make an acknowledgement of country. We acknowledge today that we meet on many Aboriginal lands. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands, and we show our respect to elders past, present and emerging through thoughtful and collaborative approaches to our work. Next, I just want to give a quick overview of what we'll talk about in this webinar, which is what is the Community Strategic Plan? How does it work at Council? How we've engaged with the community so far in the development of the Community Strategic Plan. And then we'll go in and touch on the four Community Strategic Plan focus areas, and we'll outline some of the proposed changes that we're making to that based on feedback we've got to date. And we'll also provide an overview of what's next and how you can continue to be involved with the development of the plan. So first of all, what is the Community Strategic Plan? Really what it is about for Council and all local governments, it's the community plan. It sets the priorities for the next 10 years based on what the community see for their area. It provides a way for us to support community to play a part in the implementation of that plan, whether that is through supporting council services or indeed council advocating on behalf of the community for key issues. It also determines council's role in being able to meet the priorities of the next 10 years, and we'll talk about that further as the presentation progresses. And it also sets up for council to stay accountable and transparent to the community in terms of what we deliver. At the highest level within the Community Strategic Plan, we set a community vision, which for Port Stephens is a great lifestyle in a treasured environment. It means that all that we do with the community, for the community, is to achieve that vision that we have. We split that up into various aspects, goals, strategies, also identify others that can help, and measures to know that we are on track. And we divide it over four main areas, which we'll outline further as we go through. How does a Community Strategic Plan work? Really what it is about is once those objectives are set, Council then needs to determine how and what it can do to help support that. And that is outlined in what we call the delivery program and our operational plans. That sets up what we do over a 4-year period, and then what we would do each year of that in order to give effect to the plan. We obviously have a range of other things that help us support it, particularly around our resources. We have our long-term financial plan, our workforce management strategy, and also our strategic asset management plan. And that really outlines what council resources are available to be able to give effect to the Community Strategic Plan over the course of 4 to 10 years.
Okay, thanks, Tim. Hello, I'm Steve Pert. I'm the Group Manager of Development Services here at Council. A big part of my role is looking after communications and engagement with the community. I just want to give you a quick rundown on the engagement journey that we've worked on so far. At Council, we've taken a really strong integrated approach to the way that we've worked on developing the CSP and the multiple documents associated with the CSP. And also how we generally go about our business. Now, from an integrated approach, engagement with the community has been really, really critical for us. We've been collecting data and talking with our community on a number of fronts since 2020, when we first conducted our first ever Liveability Index survey. Our livability data, together with our community satisfaction results and engagement feedback on other strategies and plans, has given us a great understanding of what's important to our community. And all of this helps to inform the review and the update of the Community Strategic Plan. So the engagement journey we've ventured on so far has been through 3 phases. Phase 1 of our integrated approach started really big. We gathered lots of data from the Liveability Index survey in 2020, followed by our Community Satisfaction Survey in 2021, a whole host of engagement associated with place planning and specific engagement strategies on our wellbeing plans in April 2021 and our economic development strategy last year. So phase 2 of the program shifted to a more local level, diving deeper into the results of some of the data. A series of planning for your place workshops in Q4 last year were really critical for us to dive into the results of the Liveability Index with the community. The workshops focused on immersion into the data and validating identified local aspirations and priorities, as well as providing tools for community capacity building. And we've now moved into phase 3. It's the final stage. It's about checking back in with the community, identifying any key gaps that we haven't flagged so far, and really just starting to report back to the community and at a strategic planning level. So what have we heard? Well, we've heard lots. And in terms of the 4 strategic priority areas as part of the community strategic plan within our community, we've heard about reconnecting as a community, building resilience, staying safe. In our place, we've talked a lot and we've heard a lot from the community about maintaining our local roads, pathways and connections for community, and once again, that support for community connection as we come out of the COVID pandemic. In terms of our environment, lots of great feedback, which is excellent in terms of coastal management, protecting our local wildlife, urban greening, sustainability, etc. So lots to do in our natural environment space. And as far as our council goes, we really want to start being consistent with the approach that we take to engagement and communication with our community. So in terms of our community being our first focus area of the community strategic plan, it really focuses on the respect and special needs of some of our specific population, including younger people, seniors, and providing inclusivity to all. Our local Aboriginal heritage and European heritage and our specific day-to-day culture, arts and living experiences, including vibrant community spaces. From what we've heard from the community already, we've refined some of the wording of this focus area. We've weaved in a sense of well-being and a feeling of being welcome. The statement of our community is proposed to be an accessible and welcoming community respecting diversity, heritage and culture. Combining the previous key directions within the community strategic plan, we've come up with a key goal being improved well-being for our diverse community, supported by services and facilities.
Hello everyone, I'm Greg Cable, Council's Group Manager of Facilities and Services, and I'd like to talk to you about our place. Essentially, our place, as covered in the Community Strategic Plan, talks about our economy and our businesses, tourism and events, and also importantly focuses on infrastructure, including roads, drainage, parks, community buildings, and all the infrastructure the Council provides right across the community. It doesn't, however, just restrict itself to Council's infrastructure. It also talks about state-funded and state-run infrastructure and includes our advocacy role as far as that infrastructure is concerned. It talks about creating a healthy and happy and safe place through planning for our DAs and strategic planning that's undertaken here at Council, and talks also about character and identity and how we create that in centres right across our local government area. It also speaks to resilience in the face of emergencies, and we've had a few of those to face of late. Largest one obviously being the pandemic, and how we've built and how we will maintain resilience in the face of emergencies that are yet still to come. From what we've heard from the feedback, and there's been a lot of feedback in this area as we've touched on earlier, we've still tried to weave in the constant themes around wellbeing, sustainability, connection and resilience, and build those right across our infrastructure network and the infrastructure networks that we can advocate for and try and get in place for the community.
Thanks, Cabes. Our environment is the third focus area of the Community Strategic Plan. Obviously a really important part of our broader vision for the community, and it talks about our local ecology and protecting the biodiversity of the area for future generations, including environmental education, focusing on reducing our environmental footprint, which encompasses everything from waste and the sustainable use of our resources, and focusing on community resilience to the impacts from climate change. From what we've heard from the community already, we've refined some of the wording of this focus area, recognising that protection of the natural environment was identified as our #1 value. That's it, #1 value in the Liveability Survey in 2020, and reinforced that planning for your place workshops throughout the year. To help highlight this importance, we've proposed additional items in the CSP focus area to help reflect this importance. We've proposed to break down the current strategy into 3 components, being support renewable energy and alternative fuel use, support resource recycling and reduction of waste, and support urban greening initiatives. At our workshops, we heard a lot of comments expressing concerns regarding the loss of trees in the urban environment. To help reflect this community concern about making our urban environments cleaner and greener.
I'd like to talk to you about the last focus area, which is our council. And somewhat uniquely in our plan, this is the only focus area that focuses directly on council, and it really is about our governance processes and the way that council is set up to be able to deliver the initiatives that are outlined under the Community Strategic Plan and associated plans, as well as how we engage with the community, how we manage our resources, and also how we report back to the community over the course of implementing the plan. What has become clear from what we've heard from the community is engaging and informing the community on what council does. We've heard that clearly from the feedback that we've received through the engagement to date, and we've been able to make some changes, or we are proposing some changes to this aspect of the CSP to be able to enhance that aspect of it. One of the other key factors that we have in here is maintaining financial sustainability, which, based on the ongoing effects of COVID-19, like a lot of people out in the Port Stephens community and more broadly, is a real challenge for council going forward, and it will be clearly front and centre around our resourcing plans and being able to deliver on what the community's priorities are.
Okay, thanks, Tim. So just to recap where we're at in terms of engagement and our integrated approach to our community strategic plan. We're going into phase 3 of the engagement journey right now to check back in with the community with what we've heard so far and see if we're just missing any fundamental gaps. It will run from 28 February until 14 March. Join us for the live Facebook Q&A session on Thursday, the 3rd of March. Tim, Greg and I will be all part of that, and we'll be here to answer any of your questions on our approach to community strategic planning and what's really important to you as we move forward. Lots of other opportunities to have your say through our online survey. Show us what you love about Port Stephens by entering great photo competition. You can jump on Council's website and have a look at that. And find out all the terms and conditions, etc. Following this check-in, we'll review the CSP and supporting documents based on community input before submitting the draft documents to our council. Phase 3 is not the formal public exhibition process. The public exhibition process is proposed to occur late April and May, following council's consideration of all the draft documents. So late April and May is when council will be taking submissions during the formal public exhibition process.
I just want to finish there by saying thank you to all of you out there who have taken the time not only to look at this webinar, but also for those of you that have already provided feedback to date and also intend to stay involved or indeed get involved with the Community Strategic Plan. We look forward to continuing to work with you as we prepare these documents over the coming months.